It is Drummian back again, and tonight we're going to be doing some hip hop music production. I'm pretty partial to hip hop for a number of reasons. Basically, it was one of the first genres of music that I started to listen to on my own beyond the music that my parents listened to and stuff like that. My mom, I think, listened to more hip hop stuff, but she listened to more mainstream kind of stuff. And when I got a little bit older, I started to listen to some other stuff that really inspired me to want to get into music production, like especially with like the beats and stuff like that. So anyway, started this stream a lot later than I wanted to. I was figuring out some audio stuff and going over some scene changes and stuff like that. Gaining the ability to change scenes without having to actually click with my mouse. I can now just change scenes with my keyboard here. So I'll show you an example. I can show you my keyboard camera. Whoa. There it goes. Whoa. Pretty sweet. So now when I'm playing anything on the keyboard, you will be able to hear it through, well, not hear it. Well, obviously you'll be able to hear it. I just realized that I'm having another audio issue, so I started to think about what I'm hearing. Unfortunately, what I meant to say is you'll be able to see what I'm doing here when I click that scene. And then I've got another scene that should show what I've got going on in Ableton. I can open that here. I think that worked, but I don't know why I'm hearing some weird sounds now. Don't want that desktop audio, that's for sure. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, you should be able to see my Ableton in this view. But anyway, I also spent some time a little bit of time working on some artwork for my channel, like this little guy right here. Poke, poke. Yeah, spent a little bit of time making some more, I guess, branding for the channel. I love doing artwork and stuff, so it was really no big deal getting that set up. It was actually really fun. Just took a little bit of time. Took a little bit of time to get it like set up here too. So yeah, let's get into some music here. I do not know how long this one's going to be. Kind of just depends on if I get into a flow or what happens, but I am learning to value sleep a lot more. I'm understanding how important it is to get the proper sleep that you need. In the past, I have not been great at doing that. I've also learned that video game addiction is a real thing, for sure. And I was definitely affected by it quite a bit. I've spent countless hours playing video games for, I guess, the fun of it. There's lots of reasons that you can come up with for why you can spend countless hours playing video games, but ultimately those hours are better spent doing something more productive. Not only that, but like, I've learned that, like, video games can really have an impact on relationships and stuff like that too. If you spend a lot of time playing video games, I mean, that's time that you're not spending maintaining your relationships or taking care of your responsibilities and stuff like that. If you start to let those things slip, then it really is just like any other addiction. So yeah, maybe that's something I wish I would have learned sooner, but better late than never. Well, regardless, let's get into some Ableton. Switch to my Ableton scene. And now I do want to make sure I'm not getting that audio in. This is the first time I'm dealing with this, so it might take me a second to get used to. There's my be right back screen, which is essentially just is the actual art piece for the smaller thing that I have down in the corner on my live scene. But yeah, it was pretty fun to make. I guess it was like a cartoonified version of myself. I actually made this piece kind of a long time ago and put some pieces that I made together with the drum set and music notes, and it was really fun. All right, let's see. Okay. Should be good to go now. Yeah, so I'm only hearing the keyboard through my left side right now, and I don't know if that has to do with my MIDI keyboard. Let me try to unplug this, plug it back in. But I'm not super familiar with this keyboard. I'm still getting used to it, so that's a goal of mine, is to get more familiar with it. Okay, I don't think it has anything to do with the keyboard, because just turned it off and turned it back on. Nothing has happened. I mean, I can check some of these settings. Interesting. Okay. Let me try closing this. Delete. We'll try to add that back in here. Let's worry about drums first. I think I've got something called like Drum Labs or something. Drum Lab, yeah. This thing is pretty sweet. It's a pretty sweet drum set. Okay, I am getting it through my right and left now. Looks like this is just like some kind of almost cowbell type of instrument, which is pretty sweet. So I think this just gives single instruments if I want it, but I also can have sets, I think. Not sure. It always takes a second to load up these samples because they're pretty big files. But yeah, I was kind of thinking like, it would be fun to, like, I spent a lot of time when I was gaming. Like, sometimes I would spend literally all night gaming, like literally not sleeping through the night just to game, just for the fun of gaming. And I was like, man, I love music. Like, why couldn't I do that with music? And I'm not planning on doing that tonight. But maybe one of these nights I'll do something like that. Just because, like, I need to prove to myself in a way that I have the capacity to do something productive for that length of time. Okay. So this is what I'm going to have to use soon here. Let me go back to my other screen. Pretty soon here, I am going to have to move for school. I've talked about it a few times, I think, in my streams, but I'm going to have to move for school. And what that means is I'm not going to have as much space, I don't think. It's possible. It's going to be possible for me to set up my whole drum set. But honestly, I think for the time being, it's only going to be for a couple months. I think for the time being, I should just focus on my production ability and use the digital kits that I have and see if I can master those for a little bit, because why not? And it's going to be a whole heck of a lot of less traveling with music gear and stuff that is kind of unnecessary, because I'm going to be really busy with school and work and all that. So I won't have a ton of time for music anyway. I don't know. Knowing me, I'm probably going to end up trying to bring my whole drum set with me just because I am drumming. Anyway, let's get back to the digital drumming. All right, so let's listen to some of these. Wow, you can really do a lot with that. That is pretty sweet. Okay, let's find the kick drum. We got our snare. Well, that's a loud snare. Yeah, I want more chill snare. Whoa, that is a loud kick drum. Like, can we turn that down a bit? Is there like a less loud one? Oh, they're both quite loud. Well, I think the velocity is just dependent on... Oh, this is cool. I can't tell if there's like some static at the end of that. Why do these seem super loud? I can't tell if it's just... It just seems super loud in my headphones. I can't tell. Can't tell how loud it actually is, but let me try another drum set maybe. This is like, this is literally called, okay, let's try smooth. Maybe it'll be less distorted. That's what I'm guessing this is. I feel like that's a little bit better. Wow, you can really make it sound like a live drum set. That's pretty crazy. Let's just get like a basic drum beat down. That was fine. Okay, let's try something like that. Let's just get that recorded. I wonder what tempo that is at. Typically I do it around 90 for hip hop stuff. Let's try that out. Make sure I'm ready to record here. All right. I need my metronome on while I'm recording this out. Always record with the metronome. In my personal opinion. Why not? And we're using MIDI, so we can always just go back and fix it if it's messed up, but might as well record with the metronome. Okay, let's just get like that little intro done. Let's get that down first, because I feel like that would be nice to have. I was a bit slow there. Let's try that again. One more time. Okay, that's kind of cool. Oops. drums. Okay, and then now that we got all drums in there, let's listen back to the intro and see if it was even. Okay, not bad. And then let's keep it going with the next. Let's try that out. Okay. That was fine. Let's see, what do I want? Like, probably 4 bars or so. But mainly, I was a little bit too loud with the snare drum there. So let's try it again. That was funky. I want 2 kick drums there in the beginning. Okay, that was okay. I think I need to edit some of these velocities. But other than that, that wasn't so bad. Let's listen. Interesting. So, I don't know what I just did there. Let me find out what I just did there. Oh, I just changed the velocities. I changed all of the velocities altogether. Okay. I did not mean to do that. But it actually sounded kind of nice like that. Maybe I should do that. But let's listen to it without that. Yeah, at least the kick drums, all of those velocities need to come down a bit. For sure. And honestly, all of these snare velocities probably should come down a little bit. They're just coming on a little too strong. And the kick is still coming on a little too strong in my opinion. But honestly, the snare sounds pretty nice. I wonder if I just need to turn on the volume, not the velocity. I think that's something I can do right here. Okay. Oh, wow. It's quite stormy outside right now. I don't know the wind is probably not audible over this microphone, but it's pretty crazy windy right now. It's pretty cool. Here, let's listen to this beat now. Okay. These velocities need to come up a little bit. The intro hits. That sounds pretty good. Okay. This velocity needs to come down a lot down, a lot more. Yeah, I just want that to be like a ghost note, like a little accent in the background. And honestly, I feel like this is coming on a little too strong now. Actually, if I bring up this velocity a little bit, that'll be fine. What do we got that at 85? Let's bring this up to 85 as well, because I want those to feel strong, like impacts. Give it that nice backbeat feel. We don't want it to be exactly the same though. We'll bring it to 83. And here, these hi-hats seem to be quite a bit louder than the other ones for some reason. Mainly just these right here. Let's take the velocity of these down a little bit. I want it to sound more laid back than that. All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I was trying to give it more of like a realistic drum sound rather than like the typical MIDI drums. So I feel like this plugin works pretty well for that. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get another drum beat. Something with some extra kicks. Maybe that's too much. Let's just stick with the drum beat we got for now and try to add some other instruments to it. So today I learned a bit of a chord progression on the keyboard at a friend's house. And if I can remember it correctly, I think it went like this. Let's see. So I looked up, basically I just went on Google. I went on Google and I looked up like soul chord progression. And this is the simplest one that came up. Whoa, I'm about to play a chord progression on a drum set. I'm realizing that now. So let me make sure I've got my proper instrument loaded up. It would be really tough to play a chord on a hi-hat. Don't know how one would do that. Sounds interesting though. Okay, so let's load up. Let's see. What do I normally like to use for this? Well, I haven't done like a hip hop beat with these plugins yet, so let's mess around with these. These are supposed to be specifically for hip hop. Actually, you know what? There was one that I recently got on here. Another hip hop based thing, but I don't see it on here. You know what? That is a-okay. We will simply use these 24K keys. They can't be bad if they got that 24 karat magic, baby. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's a pretty sweet sound. Pretty sweet. Let's see what else we got on here. No. Oh, that's kind of nice. Why did my volume just went down all of a sudden? I feel like it had something to do with this MIDI controller. I don't know what's going on with it. But all of a sudden, volume just went down to nothing. Very strange indeed. Well, those are pretty sweet. You know what? What I typically like for hip hop stuff is just a normal piano. And I got a fancy piano, so let's find that fancy piano. Hopefully loading up this quote-unquote fancy piano will fix whatever's going on with my MIDI controller here and allow me to get my chord progression down. And it always takes forever to load, especially this one. This file is like 30 something gigabytes. Crazy. It's just one instrument, just this piano, and it sounds lovely. So it makes sense that it takes a while to load up. Yeah, so tomorrow is going to be a very busy day of packing and moving and traveling 5 hours south to live with my parents again. So, quite the adventure. But it's all for my benefit. It's all to finish my school just a little bit sooner and become a teacher quicker. So yeah, and it'll be nice to spend time with family. Or it should be loaded up here. Let's see. How come it's not loaded up here? Of course, it's like gonna crash this. Whoa, I thought Ableton crashed for a second. Okay, we got it. I think it's doing that thing again where the volume is super low. Strange. Okay, well. Let's try to play the drums. Okay, so let me get that chord progression down again. Let me see if I can somehow fit that to the drums. Let's turn the drums down just a little bit. Because my keyboard is super low, all of a sudden, you know what? I actually need to fix this somehow. So I think I'll just, let me see if I can close this and open it again. I don't know. Gotta give this baby a second to load up again. Today I was singing a lot, and that was a ton of fun. And I don't know if I'll ever do that on stream, but it's possible. I'll do it right now, just to make it a reality. Oh, you heard what they say. Oh, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Ain't that a shame? I've been good for some time. I'd be lying if I said that you ain't on my mind. Just gonna give it some time. Feeling like I'm running away. Never had the chance to say I could say that loving you is easy. Yeah, that's where I lose it. Let me try that again, just a little bit lower. I can say that loving you is easy. I don't need to prove a thing. Somewhere along the way, I guess you got. It doesn't help that I'm whispering right now, or trying to be as quiet as I can be. But okay, got clear finally up. And it's still super low. Very strange. I have no idea why it's so low. Okay, let me check again. Let me see if all the other instruments on this are low, or if it's just Claire. And if all the other instruments are low, I'll have to do something to figure out what's going on. I might end up trying another MIDI keyboard I do have another one. It's just gonna be kind of a pain to set up, but that is a-okay. Gotta do what we gotta do. And I feel like this should be working just fine. I don't know why. I don't know why it wouldn't be. No clue. Well, womp womp. Okay, let's see. Let's load up this. I know this one was a bit louder. So let's see. I think this is just a play. This is not supposed to be played as a chord, so that's why it sounds so funky. But this is definitely louder. So it might just be that instrument super low, but I'm sure there's things I can do to make it a bit louder. It's gonna take forever to load again. So I'm gonna sing a random song off the top of my head. Let me see, what do I got? Oh yeah, there's that song by Pink Sweats that I played on the guitar that I know how to play and sing-ish. Okay, I'm realizing I probably shouldn't be playing acoustic guitar right now. It's super early. She said, what if I dive deep? Will you come in after me? Would you share love with me? Let me know. I told her thinking is all wrong. Love will happen if it wants. No, it hurts sometimes, but don't let it go. 'Cause I want you. Okay, let's get that cool progression down here. It could just be because it's very velocity, like it responds to velocity a lot more than the other instruments because it's so like it probably has a ton of, what do they call those, touch points for the velocity because it's such a large file. So that makes sense. Let's just get the basic chord progression down and see if I can fit these to the drums. I'm going to turn the drums down a little bit. Okay. it'll fit nicely. That sounds more hip hop. I like that. Let's see if we can fit that to the drums. Almost got it. You know what? I'm just going to record it because I feel like when I get it, I might not be able to get it again. So I might as well record it. Let's give it a shot. Okay, that was pretty close. I feel like there was some notes that I missed. But let's see. Okay. Let's see. Was that 4 bars? Was that 8 bars? That sounds pretty cool. I'm sorry for breathing into the mic. I'm like sitting here like just focused. What up, I am Dens. Yeah, I think so. Oh, so appreciate the follow, man. Yeah, I think we might have played League back in the day. Something's going on over here. I think I got an extra note over here. I do want that to lead in, but only barely. Oh yeah, there's some stuff going on over there too. Some funky bits. Yeah, I actually kind of messed that up in the process of editing this stuff. Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, from way back, I guess. Yeah, I messed this whole thing up. I need to like go back. Man, that's like, it's just too rough. Let me see if I wonder if I can replicate what I did earlier. So I can just re-record it. Yeah, I'd actually prefer to just re-record that, honestly. Let's just delete this. Because I got that confidence. I can just redo it. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't be too confident. No, I could do it. Here, let's see. Gotta retry that. Oh, I can do better than that. There we go. I don't know why I can't get that chord change. I'm going to practice that chord change for a second. Okay, I think I got it. That's okay. Got kind of jazzy at the end there. Get rid of a couple of these extra notes in there. That's smooth there. I like that little transition. That's clean, actually. I like that. That's cool. I'll have to figure out a way to turn up the audio later on, but for now, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's smooth. Cool. All right, let me get a bass line in there. I'm gonna try to add just like the 808 type of bass line, like a sub. I think I'll be able to make do without my drum kit for a little bit. This drum kit's not that bad. And I barely did any editing to it. So, I mean, this song's already sounding pretty full. Just need to get some drums in there. Maybe I'll add like a saxophone or something in there. That'd be pretty sick. Let me get that bass line in there first though. Whoa, that seems pretty dang loud. Turn that down a little bit. All right, let's try to just add that bass line in, get a basic beat going, get like the basic foundation, because probably going to end here because I want to at least get a little bit of sleep in before the noise is up. But this has been really fun. Okay. That was okay. Let's try that one more time. Almost. All right, let me delete this here, delete. And then just gonna make this 4 bars, and then it should be a pretty sweet loop. Sorry, I am actually doing a lot of work in Ableton, and I did not switch to my view of Ableton. Womp womp. But yeah, kind of editing some stuff in here, like on the bass line and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good so far. Okay, last thing. And I feel like it has too much directionality, honestly. I don't want it to go down like that. You know what? I'm like wasting a ton of time here. I can totally just re-record this. Not like it's the most complicated beat ever. Alright, I just had to line it up with the other one. Okay, let me try to add the intro for the bass real quick. Just what I have in my head. Try that one more time. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see. I think one of those is slightly off. Okay, and then let me add the keys, I guess. Let me try that one more time. Played the wrong notes there. Almost. I always say almost. Almost. It's almost there. I think that's pretty solid. Okay. Okay, now let's try to take all of these and put them into our actual track. So let's start with our intro. All right, let's edit these real quick so I don't forget them. This is a piano. This is not a keyboard. All right, and then we got bass. Oh, man. Okay. Got those all labeled. Now let's take them and put them into our track here. So let's go ahead and separate these tracks out. Got our drums, piano, bass. We're no longer recording. Let's get these in here. Got our intro, kind of a short intro. That's okay. We want it to stay interesting. Take our intro from all of our instruments, paste them in there. Let's show you a little bit of a better view. There's our intro right there. Let's see it. Let's play it all together. Little bit rough, but that's a-okay because we are learning as we go. It sounds pretty cool to me. So let's get the main beat down for each of these now. Oops. What the heck? And then the main for this. And the main for this. All right. We just match the length of these. Then we take this whole section. I think I can highlight this whole section. Oops. Yeah. Oops. So let's just go ahead and listen to what we've got so far. Interesting. So it like has a short gap in there. And I'm kind of wondering why. I gotta just shorten that space a little bit. Let's see if that did it any justice. I feel like the velocity changes so much. Like it should just be all chill. So I need to like in the intro for the piano, I need to take all of these velocities and bring them down just a wee bit, just a wee bit. Oh, I see. I wasn't editing the right one. That's pretty cool. It's a nice little hip hop beat for something I just made from nothing. Okay, so the last step, gonna get like a lead instrument over that, and what I'm thinking is like a saxophone or something. I think I got a pretty decent selection of saxophones. I might do a trumpet or something. Although I have been watching Bridgerton lately, and I have a pretty sweet violin sound. Let's try that out first. Oh my gosh, so loud. All right, let's listen again. Such a nice pizzicato sound. Pizzicato. It sounds so clean. That's nice, but I kind of want something a little bit funkier than that. And to get a little funkier than that, I might want a trumpet or something like that. Let's see what we get. Got the alto saxophone loading up here. Add some flavor with it. I like that. Let's try that out. It's a nice little loop there. I think I had one note that was too high of a velocity, but other than that, all right. And then sorry, guy. Gonna add some saxophone in there. We'll just add it through the rest of the song, just to hear what it sounds like. All right, let's take a listen. I feel like that first note's velocity needs to be a little lower. Wait, where did everything go? See, that's weird. The sound like cut out on the sound cut out like how it did before. Anyway, let's copy and paste this here. Yeah, already I feel like the velocity of this first note needs to come back up just a little bit. Alright, let's take a listen to that. Oh, you know what? One thing I'm noticing as well in the intro drums, see if I can find the intro drums. Wait. There they are. These hi-hats are entirely too loud. Let's turn those down just a little bit. Maybe they're not loud enough, actually. Let me see. Maybe these ones aren't loud enough. That's okay. We'll worry about that later. Okay. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. So, I think that's going to do it for tonight. Appreciate anyone that tuned in. Yeah, I'll probably be doing some more stuff like this soon because I won't have access to my drum set. So I'm going to keep improving on this style. Hopefully it'll sound better with each time. But this is pretty cool for a first run. Well, appreciate anyone that tuned in. Peace and love to you all. Catch you later. See ya.